It's a Tuesday, 6:47 p.m. You're standing in a gas station buying a $4 bag of chips because you don't feel like cooking tonight. Your banking app says $412. It's the 23rd of the month. You do this math every single time you buy something. The jackpot sign behind the register says 340 million. You've bought exactly one ticket in the last 4 years. At your cousin's wedding, as a joke. Tonight, for no real reason, you buy one anyway. You fold it into your wallet between a gas receipt and a punch card for a sandwich shop that closed 2 years ago. You forget about it before you even get home. Here's the myth everyone repeats about what happens next. That 70% of lottery winners go broke within a few years. That's not true. The real story is stranger, and it says a lot more about your brain than any myth ever could. Let's go through them. You're staring at your phone. The numbers on the screen match the numbers on your ticket, one by one. You don't scream. You just stop breathing for a second. Your hands go cold before your brain catches up. Right now, your prefrontal cortex, the part of you that makes careful decisions, is getting flooded and temporarily shut down by dopamine. Your nervous system isn't reading this as good news. It's reading it as a survival event, like you just outran something. Every problem you've ever had suddenly feels solved. Somewhere in a government office, a form is already being generated with your name on it. A lawyer slides 2 pieces of paper across the desk. Lump sum, paid today? Or an annuity, spread across 30 years? You already know which one you're going to pick. Most people can't actually weigh this choice properly. The pull to lock in the reward right now, today, is almost impossible to resist. So, you sign for the lump sum, and in that instant, nearly half the number on your ticket is just gone. And that's before your personal tax bill even catches up to you next April. Nobody warned you that would feel like losing money you never technically had. The money lands in your account. You expected relief. What you feel is dread. This is the opening of something therapists who work with sudden wealth see over and over. Flat emotions, anxiety, a strange guilt about money you didn't technically earn. It doesn't have an official name in any medical manual, but it has a pattern, and you're now living inside it. Then your accountant calls. The lottery only withheld the standard rate. You owe the rest in one payment at the highest bracket there is. You just learned that getting rich and keeping it are 2 completely different math problems. You quit your job. You move into something bigger. The car gets an upgrade. For a while, it's everything you imagined. And here's the strange part. Long-term studies on real winners find that your overall sense that life is going well stays high for years. That's not what disappears. Daily joy does. A good cup of coffee, a decent morning. Your brain isn't comparing your new life to your old one anymore. It's comparing today to yesterday. And yesterday was already this good. Close to 4 in 10 winners quit working completely. And when they do, they don't just lose a paycheck. They lose the only structure that was still holding their day together. You don't need a lottery ticket for any of this. A promotion, a successful business, even a sudden inheritance can trigger the exact same pattern. Your phone rings less, not because anyone hates you, because every hangout now carries a calculation neither of you wants to say out loud. You pick up every check, it stops feeling generous. It starts feeling like a transaction. Meanwhile, the requests get louder. Real data on lottery winners shows that once your fortune crosses a certain line, the share of relatives making aggressive financial demands jumps sharply. You're not imagining how people treat you differently. It's measurable. People don't judge their life against some universal standard. They judge it against yours. Then it reaches your bedroom. The research finds something almost nobody expects. If you're a man, this windfall statistically makes your marriage more stable. If you're a woman, It does close to the opposite. The risk of divorce nearly doubles in the first 2 years. Money didn't change either of you. It just removed the reason to stay in something that was already unsatisfying. Congratulations! You finally own the house you always dreamed about. Now the house owns your calendar. The bills start arriving, not the ones you budgeted for. Staff, insurance, upkeep. A second bill, then a third, that nobody mentioned when you signed the papers. The bigger your life gets, the more it costs just to keep yesterday alive. There's a knock at the door. You don't recognize the name on the paperwork. It's a lawsuit, some real, some just people who noticed your bank account and decided you looked like an easy target. In the insurance industry, they have a sterile, cold name for this: social inflation, payouts climbing faster than the economy around them. Most wealthy families report the exact same fear you're feeling right now. Most of them are underinsured for it too. You're not paranoid. You're statistically correct to be nervous. 5 years in, the pattern researchers have tracked for decades finally catches up. In the first 2 years, big winners are actually less likely to go bankrupt than anyone else. It looked like the money worked. By year 5, the numbers flip. By year 6, your odds of financial ruin are statistically no different from someone who won a few $100s. The windfall didn't fail you. It just delayed the outcome your habits were always going to produce. You sell what you can. You go back to something quieter. And the strangest part isn't that the money is gone. It's that the small things still don't feel the way they used to. There is one thing that actually works here. Decide, before any of this happens, what enough looks like. Then stop there, instead of chasing the next upgrade forever. Advisors who specialize in sudden wealth push clients toward the same first move. A mandatory pause, sometimes a full year, before any big decision gets made. Not because the money is dangerous, because your brain, running on instincts built for a completely different world, isn't built to process it correctly in real time. The winners who stay stable aren't the ones with the most money. They're the ones who kept working, kept their old friends, and never let the goalpost move. The ticket was never the finish line. It was just the moment the real test began. Most people think winning the lottery changes your life. Research suggests it simply reveals it.